There are some basic operations for tokens on the Waves blockchain. Let's take a look at all of them. First, let's call tokens that are not native tokens for the public chain custom tokens. So any tokens besides the Waves token are custom tokens on the Waves blockchain. There are many things we can do with custom tokens, so let's talk about it. Let's learn how to work with tokens in our Web3 applications. First of all, everyone is able to issue a new token with specific parameters. To do that, we have a couple of ways and a couple of options. The first option is to write some code and issue a token, to mint a token by sending a simple transaction, issue transaction. We can use any library, any language, programming language we want. For example, we can use JavaScript, we can use Java, PHP, anything. There are many languages with different libraries for Waves blockchain. The second option is to send an issue transaction, but using the user interface from the Waves exchange. So in the Waves exchange, we have wallet, we have decentralized exchange, and also we have the UI to issue your own token. Let's do both. Let's start with issuing token by sending a transaction from the code. Here I have a simple example in the Waves IDE. Here I have 4 test cases in a test file. So I have asset operations.js, and here I have 4 test cases. Let me explain the first case. We want to issue a token. Here I have some default parameters for this token. I want to issue a custom token with name EURX1, like example 1. Here I have quantity parameter, which means how many tokens I want to mint, I want to issue. Here is also a decimals parameter with value 2. Let's have a look at this parameter. By setting it to 2, you will have the same effect as with euros and euro cents. So in 1 euro, there are 100 euro cents, and a cent is the smallest token value available for operations. So in the blockchain, it will be the same. We have also a flag with a reissuable flag equal to false. It means that the total amount of waves will never be changed. We cannot issue or mint more tokens. And we have a description, string with any value. Actually, I say here a simple example of custom token for our course. Great. I define an object with all these parameters and pass it to the function called issue. This issue function is a part of Waves transactions library. Here's Waves transactions on the GitHub. You can use it not only in the online IDE, you can use it in any JavaScript code. Just install it as a dependency and use the library. So here we have an example of issue function, which actually constructs, builds an object with all parameters for issue transaction for a token. Here is the full list of possible parameters to issue a token. In my case, I omitted sender public key and timestamp, also fee and chain ID. So Waves transactions library will add all those parameters. So it will take the default values, or it will get, for example, sender public key from the seed phrase, which I will also pass to the issue function. So I pass 2 parameters. The first one is object with all needed parameters of the token, and a seed phrase. So the issue function will build the transaction, the issue transaction, and sign it using this seed phrase. Then I can broadcast the transaction, wait for it, and as a result, I will get the transaction ID here. Let's run the code and see the result. It will take some time. Now I use testnet, not StageNet, because Waves Exchange exists only for testnet now. So I use the same network for both options. Here we have token was successfully issued and transaction ID. This is a transaction ID of our issue transaction, but at the same time, it is an asset ID. So in Waves blockchain, asset ID equals to the issued transaction ID. So now we can go to the Waves Explorer, switch to testnet, paste our transaction ID, and we will see here is an asset issue transaction. We signed it on 20th January 2020. This is a signature. We issued 1,000 waves, but let's have a look. We had here 100,000 quantity. What does it mean? Why not 100,000 waves? It means that when we create an issue transaction, we actually set the quantity parameter, not how many euros we want to issue, but how many euro cents we want to issue. So the quantity is the real amount of euros we will issue, equals to 100,000 divided by 10 square, because we have decimals too. So it means that we will divide it by 100, or we will have 1,000 euros. So we will have 1,000 euros or 100,000 euro cents. So when we create a issue transaction, we actually set as a quantity the number of the smallest indivisible part. Great. Now we have a token, a simple example of token. Let's try to do almost the same using the UI. Let's go to the Waves Exchange, log in. Here I have testnet.waves.exchange. I have a test account with some testnet waves, and now I can create a token. Here I have almost the same. I can, let's say I can issue a token with my name, with some description. How many tokens? Let's say 10. Non-reissuable, without decimals. It is not smart asset. We will not add any logic on top of this asset, and I agree that I cannot do bad stuff with it. Great. Sign the transaction. View details. Here's an asset ID, and let's put it in the Waves Explorer and see the result. Great. It says I issued 10 inals. Great. Now you understand how you can issue a token, but this is not the only operation we can do with the token. We also can do more interesting things, like we can issue an indivisible token, let's call it so. So with decimals 0, we can issue a token. It means that we can transfer only the whole token. We cannot split it by small parts like euro cents or something like that. We can only send the whole token. In our case, with the Coupon Bazaar, it will be very, very useful because we have coupons and we sell them like the whole coupon. We cannot sell the part of the coupon, right? So we will use in our final project, we will use non-divisible or indivisible tokens. Here is an example of ice cream coupon. I want to issue 100 ice cream coupons with decimals 0. And it should be reissuable because maybe in the future I will like the result of my marketing campaign and I will want to issue more ice cream coupons. Let's do it. Let's run the code and it will take some time. Great. Now we have a new asset ID. We should have a new asset. Let's check it in the Waves Explorer. It says 100 ice cream coupon. And also we have a fee. Waves transactions library added this field. We have a sender. We have sender public key. Everything works fine. Great. Now we may want to reissue some tokens. I really liked the result of my marketing campaign and I want to issue more tokens. I want to say that I already sold like 100 ice cream coupons. Let me issue 10 more. I want to sell 10 more ice cream coupons. How to do that? Very simple. We define parameters for reissue transaction. Here we have reissue token params. How many new tokens we want to mint? In my case, 10. What asset I want to reissue, which asset. I can paste here the asset ID. And I want to keep it reissuable. Maybe in the future I will even mint more So I will have more than 100 plus 10. So again, the same, we sign transaction, send it to the network. So let's do that. Let's wait for some time. Great. It says that we reissued. Now let's take the asset ID. Here we have an asset ID. Go to the Waves Explorer and see the result. How many tokens do we have? Here I have an asset ID, which is an ID of issued transaction. It will not show how many tokens I actually have right now. It will show how many tokens I initially minted. So how to see the whole amount of tokens? We can go to the Waves Exchange. We can go to the wallet, the portfolio tab of the wallet. Here I have many tokens, but also I have ice cream coupon with 110. So let's see the details of this token. Asset info. Asset ID is F5J. Let's check. F5J. Great. Now we have 110 ice cream coupons. The next thing we can do with the asset, we can burn the token. So for some reason, maybe I wanted to sell more ice cream coupons, but I decided to cancel my marketing campaign and say, no, I do not want to sell any more ice cream coupons. So I can burn all of them, or I can burn some amount of them. So let's burn 10 new minted tokens, new minted ice cream coupons. Let's send the transaction and see the result. Great. Now we have a transaction ID. Let's go to the Waves Explorer and see the result. I burned 10 ice cream coupon tokens. Great. Now let's update our wallet, our portfolio, and see, great, I have only 100 ice cream coupons left. Here is an asset ID, F5J, looks like the same. Okay, we can do almost the same operations using ID. We can also burn tokens here. We can reissue tokens. Here we can token burn, token reissue. We can also enable sponsorship. We will talk about it a bit later. Or we can exchange this token. So we can go to the decentralized exchange on the Waves exchange, and we can trade with this token. We can say, hey, I want to sell these ice cream coupons. I'm ready to sell like 10 ice cream coupons, and I want to get 100 waves for those 10 ice cream coupons. And I can send the sell order. Somebody can send the buy order, and if those two orders match, then we will have an exchange transaction, which actually allows two users to exchange two tokens between them. So the operation is atomic, so both users will get their tokens, new tokens. I'm not going to do that in the UI, you can do it by yourself. Now I want to show you how it just looks like when we have an exchange transaction. Let's find an exchange transaction in the mainnet, for example. Here we have an exchange transaction, two accounts with two orders. This account with this address sent an order, sell order for West token, while another account with this address sent a buy order for West token. And those two orders matched, and the matcher created a new exchange transaction. Here is it. We have an exchange transaction, how many West tokens, how many Ethereum tokens, what is the fee, and what is the matcher fee. Matcher also takes some fee for this exchange transaction, and we can see the result. We have tried out a lot of operations with tokens in this lesson. This was helpful to discover the main ways users can interact with assets in the Waves ecosystem. In the next lesson, we will learn more about custom tokens by adding them to a D app, among other important ideas.